Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today, as you guys can see up on the screen, another ratio by Spica. I think this GIF is so funny. But we're going to be talking about some trash talk, some drama, a rivalry heating up in the LCS with just a week to play and headed into playoffs. Team Liquid and TSM. Things are getting spicy. But first, I wanted to say a quick word from today's sponsor, which is Thrive Fantasy. This is so exciting. They've set up this dope little launch page, which I think is so cool. Thrive Fantasy by I Am Germ. What Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy sports platform, but it's not your traditional DFS. On Thrive, you're going to choose a contest. They have traditional sports and they have esports. For League of Legends, they have LCS, LEC, and LPL, so there should be something for everybody. And then, instead of picking individual players to form a lineup, you're going to choose props. For example, whether or not you think Someday is going to get over or under 1.5 total kills, and then if that happens, if you choose right, you get those assigned points, and then you can win cash prizes. It's way more simple. It's way more easy than traditional daily fantasy sports, and I think it's way more fun as well. What is awesome too is that they have provided us with a I Am Germ LCS Friday free roll this week, where you can compete for free for a chance to win $100 worth of cash prizes, which is super cool. And if you use the link in the description below or code GERM when signing up and depositing money, they will match your first deposit up to $100. So please, I would appreciate it so much if you guys checked out Thrive Fantasy. Make sure to use code GERM and remember to prop up. So, getting into the video now, Alfari had some big trash talk coming out this week. It's not even that much of trash talk, just kind of poking and prodding at TSM, trying to get at them, trying to tweet about them, trying to stay in their minds. I know some people are going to say TSM is rent-free with Alfari right now and stuff like that, but he actually tweeted out, "Sad game to watch. All I want is 1 week where TSM goes 0-3 for TSM Legends," which is kind of funny because, obviously TSM Legends comes out every week. They have the behind the scenes stuff. It's like their documentary, whatever you want to call it. And it's funny when teams lose and you get to see some of those like awkward, sad, you get to see the teams frustrated. The whole different emotions can be interesting sometimes, and it can be cool. And obviously for other teams, getting to watch themselves beating TSM and seeing their reactions and stuff, getting a behind the scenes look, that's got to be pretty interesting. That's going to be pretty funny. There was also some really good takes here. Monte Cristo tweeting out, "Just wait for Worlds. It's funnier there anyway." I thought that was pretty hilarious. But don't you worry. The king of Twitter right now, really LCS Twitter, there's a couple good ones. I mean, Alfari's pretty good. I think Tactical is usually pretty good. But Spica has been absolutely popping off recently, where he said, "Didn't know Alfari is a TSM super fan." If you haven't, check out the newest episode of TSM Legends and watch the behind the scenes of how TSM 5-0 Team Liquid in the regular season. And this is crazy. This is something that has been very funny throughout the whole year, that TSM has actually lost to a lot of bad teams in spring and in summer, obviously because the records carry over. TSM has lost to a lot of bad teams, a lot of teams that they should have beat. But they're actually 5-0 against Team Liquid and 4-1 against Cloud9. And this is really interesting because Cloud9 was obviously the spring champions. They were obviously the MSI representatives. Team Liquid was the lock-in tournament champions. Team Liquid was the finals runner-up in spring. And TSM, they didn't really have that great showings in the spring playoffs. They have looked kind of up and down the whole year. No one's really ever seen them as like the clear best team in the LCS. Not many people picked them to win the title in spring. I don't know if many people are going to be picking them to win the title in the summer either, but for whatever reason, they have consistently beat the top teams in the regular season, so they do have some trash talk. But obviously the big thing here is that if I would rather go 9-1 against the top 2 teams in the regular season, or actually beat them in the playoffs, which TSM did not do in the spring split, that would be really easy. That would be, definitely my choice. I would take the playoff wins all day. So it'll be interesting to see if TSM can maybe figure out something different in the summer playoffs. Obviously, Cloud9 and Team Liquid are not looking as strong as they did in the spring. TSM continues to do well against them in the regular season. Maybe they'll have a chance to do better than them in the playoffs, but we'll see. Alfari did tweet out in response. He said, "Huge fan, especially can't wait for the episode where you guys show up and perform in playoffs," which is hilarious. Exactly what I was talking about, exactly where I wanted this to go. The only thing is, Alfari doesn't get as many likes on his tweets. I think his tweets are decent. I think he has good responses. I think this is some good banter, some good trash talk. But what's interesting to me, I wanted to see, Alfari has 60K followers. What is Spica rocking with here? Spica has 42K followers. So Alfari actually has more followers. So Spica's doing this, with less followers, which is even more funny. Obviously, TSM has a little bit bigger fan base, and Spica has been very active on Twitter, where Alfari is just kind of getting back into things after being gone for a long time. And he says he's doing this delusional TSM fan thing, right? So, also, you know, not only can he get Team Liquid fans on his side, but there's a ton of TSM haters and stuff that he could potentially get as well, which could be funny. But this is great trash talk because, yes, do whatever you want in the regular season. If you're not getting it done in the playoffs, nobody cares. Nobody remembers how good TSM did in the regular season against Team Liquid and Cloud9. That will be lost in history. That, you know, no one's ever going to care about that. But then Spica does respond. He says, hope you can make it that far to playoffs, which again is another good burn because we take a look at the LCS standings right now. I think I have it right here. TSM is at the top. They are 28-14 right now. They are 3 games clear of Team Liquid, and that's not as big of a deal as Team Liquid being in 5th place currently. Again, Team Liquid came into summer with a little bit of a boost. I think they had the 2nd best record in the LCS coming into summer, and since the records carry over and they've dropped all the way to 5th, that means they have done, you know, much worse than some of these other teams that have actually overtaken them, who had to make up a deficit from their spring regular season record. So very, very interesting because, again, 3 teams from the LCS are going to make it to Worlds. Team Liquid expected to be one of those teams after they had a pretty impressive offseason, getting Alphari, getting Santorin. Things have been crazy. Things have absolutely not gone their way, but right now, they look a step behind teams like TSM, 100 Thieves, Cloud9, Evil Geniuses. You know, it's going to be tough. They're going to have to make up some ground. They are going to have to overtake some things. Spica also did get one more tweet in here. He said, sad game to watch. All he wants is 1 week where TL goes 1-2 for TL Squad. I thought this was probably the worst of all the tweets from Spica, just kind of copying off Alfari's tweet and didn't really make it funnier or better in any way. But still, I think bad trash talk is better than no trash talk because I still think this is getting engagement going. This is getting, you know, just some trash talk going, some bad vibes, some rivalry, and this is really, really great, I think, for the League of Legends scene. I think this playoff is going to be very, very exciting and fun. I think for the first time in a while, there's literally 5 teams that could all legitimately win the LCS title, and I don't think we've seen that in a while. So this playoff should be fun. It should be close. It should be exciting, and obviously Team Liquid and TSM, 2 of the biggest teams, 2 of the most popular teams, 2 of the biggest fan bases, fighting not only for an LCS title, but for a world spot, and since we have double elimination, it will increase the likelihood of these 2 teams actually matching up against each other, and if they do get a playoff matchup, the trash talk is going to be crazy, the bad blood is going to be crazy, and there's going to be so much on the line. These 2 teams spent so much money. Think of the money that TSM dropped for Sword Art in this past offseason. Think of the money that Team Liquid has dropped on their entire roster, and there's a real chance that one of them could not go to Worlds, and there's another real chance that it could be each other deciding who is able to move on and potentially preventing the other one from moving on. So this rivalry has been super, super fun to watch. I'm loving the trash talk. I'm loving the things these guys are doing. I really appreciate that some of the top players in the league are doing some work in terms of generating hype, generating attention, generating some drama, getting some stuff going. And I'm definitely here for this Spica, Alfari, TSM, Team Liquid drama. And I am so hoping they match up in the playoffs because I think the viewership would be crazy, the hype would be crazy, and the drama would for sure be there. I would be tuning in. I would be glued. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about this TSM Team Liquid drama? Who do you think fares better in the playoffs? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Consider checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/IamGerm. Make sure you guys go check out Thrive Fantasy. Link's going to be in the description below and the pinned comment on this video. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!